Lesson 1. In this first lesson, we'll watch as Evelyn introduces the process drama to the class and uses the hook to engage the students in the human dimension question of what does it mean to be displaced. We'll observe the conventions of freeze frame, spoken thought, gossip mill, teacher narration, and video clip. We'll watch as Evelyn supports the students to refine the work, a key aspect of a process drama. And finally, we'll listen to Evelyn and Ashley's observations and reflections of this first lesson.
So when we think about the theme that drives the human behaviour, in drama terms we're talking about the human dimension, the need for us to understand the world we live in, the people around us, why people do what they do, why people react in different ways and how that happens. So we're always looking to examine the human dimension. That's the thing drama does best, and it does it through empathy. So we think about a situation that may appeal, it'll need to appeal to the students. It's often linked to the curriculum, the necessity in teaching. But in the case of the work that we've done in this drama, the knowledge that we have new Syrian refugees arriving here in Dunedin and beginning in many of our schools means that children are coming shoulder to shoulder with that, and they are worlds apart. So there lies our human dimensions question. How does it feel to be one of those who've been forced to leave and come here? This drama is simply called The Gift. The Gift. So it's about a present that somebody's given to somebody else. I want you to turn to someone really close to you, 2 or 3, and think of as many reasons you could give presents for. Go. How many things could you give presents for? Put up your hand if you could just share with me one reason for giving a gift that your group had.
Christmas.
Great.
Being very kind to you.
Okay, we're going to stop there, because what I want you to think about when we make our story about the gift is that reason. Tell us in a big voice again your reason for giving a present or a gift.
Because they've cared about you and they smile at you.
This story is called The Gift because the present that was given in this case was very, very special. And it was given for those kinds of reasons. So the person who gave the gift was thinking a lot about why they gave the present to the person. In this case, we've chosen the gift to bring the children into drama because a gift is something they all understand. A gift is something they all like. The fact that we don't, until deep inside the drama, open the gift means that it will motivate. The hook is the motivator. The hook is the thing that provokes questions, makes people want to know more, makes them start to think about the work. So it's the motivator that should engage the initial questioning that sits around the drama. And open your eyes.
Oh, what's that? I saw this.
Look at that.
I've already seen this. I haven't seen it.
You are looking at the gift, the very special gift that was given because somebody really cared about what someone else had done. I want you to freeze thinking about how the person who got the gift might have felt when they first saw it. When I look at your frozen image, your body will show me how you're feeling. That's all. You don't have to talk. 3 little steps and freeze. Are you ready? 3 little steps. 1, 2, 3, freeze. This time when you step in, it'll be 1, 2, 3, freeze, and then just say what's in your mind, thinking about you might be the person that's getting this special gift. And we're all just going to do that at once, so we'll all be speaking at the same time. Are you ready to move in? 3 steps, go. 1, 2, 3, speak. Now this time, I want you to imagine it was kind of like you knew something about the gift, but you've not seen it. And I'm going to say, move forward just 2 steps this time, 1, 2, and then I want you to move around people and talk to them about the present. You're not allowed to touch it in any way, but you're allowed to look at it and talk together about it. We call that a gossip mill because it means lots and lots of people are talking together. Okay? So, 2 little steps forward, 1, 2, and you're allowed to move to other people around the circle, but you gotta talk about the gift. Go. Put up your hand if you can tell me in just 1 word how you're feeling right now about this drama, The Gift. I'm wondering why you're shocked, why you're frustrated, and why you're worried and wondering. But those words tell me that this must be a very special story. If you know already those feelings about that gift. As you travel through the work, I like to give the opportunity for young people to reflect kind of after each convention. Much less at the beginning because of course you're only building your way into the narrative, but it's important to provoke the thinking. So there has to be a balance there of knowing when something really important has happened in the drama and it's a good place to stop and reflect. But that reflection should still always be regular. How are you feeling about this now? What do you think of this? What are 3 words we could use to describe that? I like to use sometimes those quick ways in of asking them to just think a little deeper than they were. I wonder what had happened to the person that gave the gift that made them want to give something really special. It was a long time before that gift was given. These people knew each other for quite a long time. Then the gift was given. The person who gave the gift had come a long way to this place. They travelled a long distance to be there. And when they got there, things were not what they expected. Sometimes it was really difficult. Sometimes it was bewildering. Sometimes it was frightening, really scary. Things were very different when the person who gave the gift came, and it caused a whole lot of problems. Because we've got to find the story, we've got to hunt for the story, to search for it. What might the problem have been about? What might have happened to this person that would make them go a long way and for things to be different? What could the problem be? Put up your hand if you think you know what's caused the problem to make someone go a long way to another place. What is it that might have been the reason for someone going a long way to be in another place, to live in another place? So you're telling me people might move because they can't get the right things to live. Okay. Where else?
Something really bad's happened in that country, like a bomb's gone off.
Something really bad has happened. Has happened in their country.
Yeah, like a bomb's gone off.
There's some very good thinking going on in this room. Something really bad has happened in their country, like a bomb going off. Seeing as we got to the bottom of the board, how about we stop there, eh? Right, now listen careful. Here is what you are going to do. We're going to make a video clip. Just there, so that's just a little short piece of action. It'll start with a frozen image and it'll end with a frozen image. And it's only, get this, 10 seconds long. That's hardly any time at all, right? 10 seconds long. In your group, this is what it will be about. In your group, I want you to choose maybe one of these things off the board. But your group is to choose what the thing was that made this person or people move to another place. What's caused them to shift? So you decide that. And your 10 seconds is about the kind of really worst moment when they knew they would have to go. What was it that happened in that 10 seconds that made them know they would have to go? I want you to focus really hard on the action, where people are, how they stand, how they move. The words are not the most important bit. It sounds like you've got enough story for a book.
Yeah, we're just using bombs.
What's your problem? You're going to do the bomb?
Yeah, the bomb blew up Bomb City and now he's on heaven riding into the distance.
Right, listen to me. If you're going to show that it was a bomb, what are you, who are you, and what are you going to do in that 10 seconds that shows me how scary and how bad it is? So perhaps you could join two of your stories together, because you're talking about going to live where there's an old friend. So it might be that it was a tsunami, it might be that a bomb was dropped, it might be that there's not enough food and the old friend was a farmer.
Yeah.
Here is the hard part now. If that's your story, what are you going to show me in that 10 seconds? Hey, if the volcano is actually erupting and you know, can you show me how you are sitting at the time? What are you doing when it goes off? Okay, great. Boys, you girls, I want you to think about what people rowing a boat look like and help them tidy up their rowing, because something tells me it's not that easy. You've got to make it look like you really are using the... Yeah, now you're getting into it. I need to know you got your reel button on. When you play your video clip, your reel button needs to be on. That means I need to be able to feel the problem, see the problem, hear the problem as though it is really happening. Building belief sits deeply inside the drama, and it works through your occupation in the drama in role. So it's the ability to believe that you are somewhere else, someone else, somewhere else with something happening to you that's going to impact on you in some way. The building of belief doesn't occur quickly or immediately for everybody. People and belief, the level of belief people feel lifts and falls, it shifts and changes during the drama. The objective is, though, to get to the point where everybody begins to believe that this story is real. So we're going to have a look at just one group's work, and we're going to do what we call refine the work in drama. When you're doing your writing at school, you know how you do a draft? And then you go back and you look at it and you make the story better. Well, that's kind of what this is. We're going to look at refining these works and making them feel really real. so that the people that watch them feel real. So you need to think carefully about what you do and what you say and what you look like, because we need it to feel really real. People, it's not the words you say, it's how you say it. Can you whisper for me, no, as though you're sharing a secret with someone and you don't want to do it, but you don't want anyone to hear you say the no? Whisper it for me. 1, 2, 3, go. This time I want you to state it firmly out loud so the other person knows you mean no. 1, 2, 3, go. No! Listen to this. It could be that he's really worried that he's dying, and he could have said no. He could have watched him as he ran into the room and went, no! It could be that as he bent over him, he looked at the others and went, no. Got it? It's different. After you've finished sharing the first time and having a look to see if we can help people make them better, you will see that we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stories. And that starts to make me wonder, are there lots of ways in this world that people might have to shift about for lots of reasons, not always because they want to? The word for that is displacement. There are lots of people, it looks like, in our world that you already understand can't stay where they are for a whole lot of reasons. And it's pretty impressive that you found all of these ways. Freeze. You can't look at me, I'm not in the picture. Hold it. Play.
The volcano. No, there's not. The volcano has erupted. The volcano. Is there?
And freeze. Tell me what's strong about what they did. Maybe that's one thing. Fainted.
I think Talia didn't believe that there was a volcano, and then she did it and made it look a bit real because she didn't think it, not just making everybody think it.
Right, I'm going to help you now, and I'm going to make them help you. Are you ready? I want you to imagine you have just looked out the window. You've looked out the window every day of your life. You've lived in this house, sometimes lots of times in one day. But this day, the volcano is actually erupting when you look out. How do you say the volcano? Everybody all together. 1, 2, 3, go.
Volcano!
Okay, now show me that you are really frightened. 1, 2, 3.
Volcano!
Got it? Again, we need to think about how we say the words, because that helps push the real button on. Do you think people really faint, or does that just happen in cartoons?
In cartoons.
Yeah, but what might that boy do that's like that?
Get a shock.
Okay, so you know how you dropped back in the chair? Don't do it as though you're fainting now. Think about, I'm not going to make you do it in front of all these people, I'm going to save that for you for fixing it later, for refining your work. Think about how you might throw yourself into the chair in shock. Refining the work makes the drama much more powerful. So we say that the more aesthetically pleasing the work, the more likely it is for belief to exist. And so time has to be allowed for people to return to the work. The other thing about refining the work is it's an opportunity for young people to learn about talking about and communicating about the arts. It gives them the opportunity to talk about it, to work out what's good, to work out what isn't so good, so that they grow their knowledge and understanding not only of working the work, but talking to the work. Put up your hand if you've learned something new about drama. Think about it carefully. Put up your hand if you've learned something new about drama. What have you learned?
About the ending and the start.
Okay, how we use the frozen image to begin and end things, yeah? And beginnings and starts are important.
To make it exciting for the person.
Yeah,
like,
what's the word?
Tense?
Tense? Tension. Good girl. Tension. You've learned about tension. What have you learned about?
The word's not always the key.
The word isn't always the key. What helps us understand?
The action?
The actions. What else help the words?
Are the expressions we make.
Yes. The learning doesn't just happen because you've been in the drama. It happens when real learning happens when you're able to apply it to the world around you. So in the drama there have to be the spaces to reflect on what it is that you're understanding about the context that you're working in. Then you need the opportunity to address what you've learned about drama. So that's part of that reflection. But sometimes they're two quite separate things.
I observed children that would not normally become a leader in the small group situations. So I had a few students who took that lead role, who were directing other children on how to express themselves, where to be, what their movements were, what their vocab was going to be, when they would be the ones in a whole class discussion not put forth their ideas. It was kind of perfect for our writing this week because we've been really trying to get the hook, so the start of a story, and we're really trying to look at how to finish something off. So to do a freeze frame at the start, the 10 seconds, and then the freeze frame at the end, absolutely perfect for what we've been working on. We've been looking at paragraphing as well, so getting those snippets and understanding is really, really important. So to go back into that room, I'm going to be easily able to say, how did you start your freeze frame? How did you move through it? How are you going to finish it? How are you going to start a paragraph? What are you going to develop in that paragraph? And how are you going to end that paragraph? Is going to be the easiest thing for my class to learn from. So it's a really easy way to take something that they have physically taken part in to then move it into a writing, rather than for me to sit up the front and talk about it, because they've lived it, they've done it. So they can go away and go, that's how we started it. This is what we went through. This is how I'm going to finish it. So it's going to be an easy way to move into the class for this week's writing.